Welcome to the Mercer County Chronicles, a podcast in celebration of America's 250th year of independence. Emerging from the ever-evolving fabric of Mercer County are the unique and captivating stories of our history and innovative future. Our mission is to educate our community and preserve Mercer County's rich history by exploring the past and bringing it to life.
Welcome to Episode 1 of the Mercer County Chronicles. My name is John Hauser, the archivist at Thiel College in Greenville, Pennsylvania, and I will be your host for this episode. Our guest of honor today is Mimi Milheim, and we will be discussing the development of Hermitage. Mimi, your maiden name is McConnell, a name that has been prominent in Mercer County for many years. How far back has the McConnell family lived in Mercer County?
Well, first, John, I have my nephew, former county commissioner Matt McConnell, and brothers Bill and Tom, and my husband Irv to thank for helping me research some of this information so I could get precise details. All the discussion is centered on our father, George F. McConnell's branch of the family, as there are many McConnells scattered around Pennsylvania and the entire country, but I don't know of their relationship to us. Part of the family came to what is now Mercer County late in the 1700s on donation lands from the government for service in the Revolutionary War. At that time, Mercer County was considered to be Westmoreland County, later named Allegheny County, before becoming Mercer County. Our great-great-great-grandfather, Hugh McConnell, born in County Armagh, Ireland in 1752, owned a grist mill around 1805 in the Jamestown area. Eventually, he moved it to West Middlesex. Our great-grandfather, George McConnell, has a deed recorded in 1873.
How many McConnells are still in the county?
Dad had 3 sisters, 4 children, 14 grandchildren, and 1 great-grandchild. If you are counting bloodline and not spouses, we have 10 of Dad's descendants still in Mercer County. There are 7 in the Pittsburgh area and 2 nephews of Dad in Harrisburg and Chalk Hill, PA, totaling 19 of our branch still in Pennsylvania.
Mimi, your nephew, Matt McConnell, served as a county commissioner for more than a decade, and another nephew, Bill McConnell, serves as the county solicitor. Tell us about the other McConnells who have gone into public service in Mercer County.
Our grandfather, William S. McConnell, was county sealer of weights and measures for 18 years, 1914 until his death in 1933. He was also a Jefferson Township school director. His brother, John McConnell, served as Mercer County treasurer. Our father, George F., represented this part of Mercer County in the Pennsylvania House of Representatives 1951 and 52. Our mother, Eleanor Gamble McConnell, represented the Northwest region of Pennsylvania on the State Board of Republican Women.
You grew up on a farm at what most of us would call the busiest intersection in Mercer County, East State Street and Route 18. What do you remember about the farm?
Well, our parents, George and Eleanor McConnell, bought the 224-acre farm in 1946, a period of great tranquility with most of the surrounding area as farmland. It continued to be a working farm until the land was leased for the Shenango Valley Mall in 1966. This was considered real country. There was not a traffic light until 1950. The roads were 2-lane, with the paving of Route 18 ending at Route 62, East State Street. Route 18 then ran west with 62 until it reached Maple Drive and then became Route 18 on Maple Drive. Living in the 17-room house built in 1860 felt like living the history of past eras. The house had been constructed in 1860 by the industrialist and coal baron Ezra T. Fish and was considered a landmark in the county. All of the materials in the house had been harvested on the farm. The bricks in the 3-brick-thick walls had been made from clay from the creek that ran through the pasture across from Old Hickory Junior Senior High School. The floors, restored by our parents, were wide yellow poplar wood. The ceilings were 14 feet high, and there were 40 windows with beautiful thick molding that went from the ceiling to the floor, and inside shutters that provided a pre-air conditioning comfort. At Christmas, Mother put a red candle in each of the 40 windows, a cheery note for those passing through the intersection. There were 10 fireplaces in this pre-central heating era. The 4 downstairs were of beautiful white marble in the style of the Lincoln era. The intriguing feature of the house for us kids was the cupola, or belvedere, on top of the roof. There was speculation that it might have been used for the Underground Railroad, watching and providing sanctuary for escaping slaves from the South. In 1882, Fish sold the farm to the Allen family, and it was called the Allen House until our dad bought it from the Allens. It was a safe period in which to live. The 20 years we lived there, we were not aware of crime. Even though we were on the busiest intersection, we never locked the house. When we were going on vacation and decided we probably should lock the house, we could not find the key. We had never used it. The farm was about 3 miles from Buell Boulevard, where the East State Street businesses began. When I walked to town along the farms and orchards, I was not afraid and did not have to worry about the light traffic on the 2-lane road. When our family moved into the house, Father told Mother, "Eleanor, don't plan on dying in this house. This property is too valuable for a residence." Mercifully, we had 20 years to enjoy our beautiful old home before demolition for the mall.
As you mentioned, the farm across the street from what was then Hickory High School. What do you remember about going to school in the 1940s and 1950s?
Well, for me, they were the so-called golden years everybody looks for upon retirement. Well, I would consider those much more golden than life now at age 90. Technology was not conceived to interfere with forming relationships through social media, smartphones, texting, etc. We did not have our first TV until I was a junior in high school, 1951. Consequently, we made our own fun and knew all of the nearly 100 members of my class, plus all the staff and administration knew each individual personally. Some may have thought that was a disadvantage. Our prom, class plays, and graduations were held in the gymnasium, which also had a stage to convert it into an auditorium. I particularly enjoyed being in the marching band, playing the cymbals since I was taking violin lessons. The school bands were very busy marching in all parades, having special formations at halftime at all home football games, and playing on the stage in the gym at the basketball games. Since our pasture was across the street from the school, it provided great entertainment, especially when the cows broke through the fence and my brothers were called out of school to remove them from Route 18. The entire school was at the front window watching the roundup. One fella told me several years ago that he got his sex education from our pastor. All the grades were in the high school building except first and second grade, which was housed in the Maple Drive building. When the elementary school was built, the Maple Drive School became the administration building.
How did the family farm become the Shenango Valley Mall?
Dad's prediction made to Mom when they moved into the house in 1946 came true when 48 acres on the northeast corner of Route 18 were leased to mall developer Frank Pascarilla, president of Crown American Construction Corporation in Johnstown, PA. The McConnell family retained ownership of the land, and the ownership of the building was retained by various mall managers, with rent being paid to the McConnells. As the house and farm buildings were being demolished, it was discovered that they could not knock down the barn because of its sturdy construction. It had to be burned down. When the Shenango Valley Mall opened in 1968, it was the largest mall between Pittsburgh and Erie and provided jobs for more than 1,000 employees. Anchor stores, Sears, Penny's, W.T. Grant's, Riverside Market, and Kresge's, which became Kaufman's and then became Macy's, had the largest footage, with many smaller shops filling the remaining space in the building. Unfortunately, with the increasing popularity of online shopping, many stores began closing across the nation. Sears and Macy's left the Shenango Valley Mall in 2017. In 2019, the mall owner, New York-based Iowa Square, failed to pay their taxes and rent and went into receivership, with ownership going to our family, which now had become the GFM 23, the descendants of George McConnell. Brother Tom, who was a master builder, built a new house for Mom and Dad at the southeast corner of McConnell Road and Route 18. With great skill, he salvaged part of the old 1860 house and put it into the new house. One of the Lincoln-era white marble fireplaces is in the living room of the house. Some of the bricks comprise a wall with a fireplace and a mantel that was a beam from the old barn. Spindles from the old staircase are built into the new stairs. So parts of the old landmark live on in more than memory. The mall and property have been sold to Butterfly Holdings in Cleveland. Their plan is to demolish the mall and turn it into the Hermitage Town Center.
Mimi, you and your husband, Dr. Irvin Milheim, have lived many different places outside of the area. What made you decide to return to Mercer County?
Before we returned, we lived in Montana for 22 years, where our older son Steve and 2 grandchildren live. We were on a hillside overlooking Flathead Lake, the largest natural freshwater lake west of the Mississippi. It's 23 miles long and 15 miles wide at its widest point. The western entrance to Glacier Park was about 1.5 hours from our house. Irv belonged to several hiking groups and hiked many, many trails in the park. I enjoyed some of the less strenuous ones. We didn't think we would ever leave this little Switzerland, as it was called by the owner, James J. Hill, who was trying to get his Great Northern Railroad to get more business going out to Glacier Park. Of course, once they left the railroad station, they had to go by horseback into the park. In 2015, I was diagnosed with cardiac amyloidosis, an uncontrollable AFib. And so consequently, I've been in congestive heart failure ever since. And they predicted that I couldn't possibly live more than 2 years. Well, we decided we better look for a continuing care facility, and so we built a house in the colony at St. Paul's Homes, and obviously the predictions weren't correct, and I'm still here. So God has His own timeline, and Irv has given me fantastic care, and so I'm here, and it's a joy to be back in Pennsylvania, especially Mercer County.
I hope you enjoyed today's conversation. Thank you for listening. The Mercer County Chronicles is brought to you by America 250 PA Mercer County and its sponsors. This podcast episode was recorded at the Thiel College Pettus Center. Special thanks to Thiel College in Greenville, PA. If you have any suggestions for future episodes of the Mercer County Chronicles, please complete the form available through link in the description or email your ideas to America250PA@mercercountypa.gov.